I'm hanging out with the Nighthawks for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I just came back in
Yeah,
from walking the dog, but I heard y'all talking about rage, man, and it just
yeah.
there's. I just wanted to say a couple things, man. There's definitely different levels of rage, right? Because
Uh,
the the composure that I have when dealing with let's say if I had an issue with Mr. O or 100 Watts or Vic, like I'm gonna have a lot of composure. But if it was like my daughter or something, then it's a completely different situation. You know what I'm
What you mean
saying?
when you
So
say
it's
that?
I'm sorry.
What do you mean when you say that?
So what I mean when I'm saying that is like um as a protector and father of my daughter, um I'm I'm willing to go to further extremes than for myself.
Okay, I
You know
understand.
what I'm saying? So it's
Understand.
like I may be able to control my anger when it's just somebody having an issue with me, but when it comes to like my daughter or something, I won't be able to control it as much.
okay, let's talk about it. What are the levels of rage? Are
Um,
there any definable differences between rage, states of rage?
well, I mean, there's many different levels to rage, but we got to look at what's the root cause of it.
Cause. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like what's at stake? Because there's
Mm,
some people that are so dangerous because they're not even worried about what they're risking, or you got those people that feel like they have nothing to lose.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Now you're talking.
how can how can you talk down somebody who has nothing to lose? You know what I'm saying? When they reach that level that they about to take somebody's life, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Or are threatening that. If they feel like they have nothing to lose, how you gonna reach one of those? How you gonna talk your way out of that situation?
Mm.
And that kind of rewinds back to the point that I was stating about when we poke the bear and we create a level of rage within another person, we are pouring gasoline on that particular fire that's going to rage higher than we'll be able to put out. That's why it's important to understand what you're doing when you're doing it. We talk about stoicism, you know. We talk about stoicism and the ability to understand where, you know who are the most stoic people? The Shaolin monks, right?
Mm.
That's one of the things that they teach. You know, they got them kicking trees, understanding pain. That's why those monks, you ever see the video where they keep hitting them in the nuts with the stick and kicking them in the nuts and kicking them in the nuts because they've been taught to endure pain so that it does not elicit an emotional response. It's mastery of yourself and how you receive stimulus, right?
Mm. Mm.
You asked about transcendentalism, okay?
That's how you pronounce that. Okay.
Yeah, transcendentalism. If you ever read anything by Ralph Waldo Emerson, he was a major transcendentalist, right?
Shout out to
What
R.
is?
Sean Dave. My fault, chef.
Oh,
What up,
Shout out to
Dave?
R. Sean. I
yeah, yeah,
appreciate you, brother.
yes.
Appreciate you.
Get Willie Deane's book. It's called Love. It's called Love. All right, Google it, Love Willie Deane, and you're gonna see it's a beautiful thing. It's
Where is the
holiday
book
season. Get
available
your
at right
nieces and
now?
nephews, your kids. Get them
What's
that.
up, bro?
Where's the book available?
It's available on Amazon. On
I
Amazon.
need to
Good enough.
link with you.
All right, all right.
So yeah, we were talking about self mastery, right? So now we go and we let into transcendentalism. Transcendentalism is the thought process, and I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible. I put the definition in there, but I'm going to dumb it down to a certain degree, right? Basically, what it is understanding that this me is not a self-driving Tesla. I drive this vehicle, this vessel. I control it. So if I understand that I am weak in certain points, remember I always say understanding your strengths versus your Achilles heels. Why? Because you are responsible for this vehicle that you're putting on the road of life. So in the end, you are always responsible, even if you allow yourself to get into a drunken state. Why? Because you recognized your weaknesses with drinking. So the decision-making process actually takes place earlier. So Stoicism and Transcendentalism, they go hand in hand. Why? Stoicism is a practice, right? Transcendentalism is more so the action step. One is the understanding of the practice, the other is the actual action step. Yo, son, nah, I ain't going there. I ain't talking to that guy because I know, man. Say something, and I'm going to smack him in the mouth, man. You know, this is all educational purposes, YouTube algorithm, guys. Yo, it's like, yo, I'm in a corporate office, and this dude just hit me with a little microaggression about, you know, urban guys, right? In my mind, I could slap him in the mouth, and all of those dudes sitting at the conference table will look away, look down, or leave the room. But I had to say, and breathe, breathe, breathe. I have to practice self-mastery. I am not balanced. Balance is my martial art that I practice on a regular basis. That is how I maintain myself. So when I speak to that stuff, all I'm doing is metaphorically sharing my medicine with you, you know? But in understanding transcendentalism and stoicism, stoicism for me is important. You know why? I'm an emotional guy. So that's one of the things that I need. That's one of the things that's why sometimes you'll see me feeling away, you know, I might rock and then I'll be like this. My brain starts thinking. I'm like, okay. Sometimes that's for me to not be like, ooh, yo. I may do it sometimes. I apologize. I'm still a work in progress, right? But me attempting to practice stoicism is the thing that will prevent me and keep myself controlled. Even in a boxing match, boxers practice stoicism. Why? Because everybody got a plan until you get punched in the nose. That first punch, you have to remember to stick with the plan and not get pissed off, because what do boxers do? They catch that nasty little jab they didn't expect, rock their nose, it's still ringing through their cheek. And, you know, you get that. Now they just
It's all fun and games till you get caught with a hook.
And then they want to start throwing haymakers and deviate from the plan and now expend additional energy. So stoicism is something that we actually all practice. If you ever had a job, there's just levels to this shit. What y'all think about that?
I'm glad you explained it and I didn't have to.